And can we get everyone who has a tombstone hanging from them with the names of the children who have been killed to come forward, please? So we're going to take a moment of silence now. Please line up back here. Thank you. And it's important to remember that the carnage occurring now in Gaza is being done because of U.S. taxpayer dollars. $3.1 billion every year goes from the U.S. to the Israeli army to kill, to maim, to bomb, to occupy, to harass and humiliate Palestinians in the West Bank and in Gaza and in Israel proper, or 1948 Palestine. So as American citizens, it's our duty to call on our representatives and to be in the streets demanding no more U.S. aid to Israel for its crimes, for its war crimes against the Palestinians, for its war crimes killing children as young as 1 year old. This is outrageous, and we need to stop paying for it. Every single person here who's an American citizen pays about $21 every year directly to the Israeli military. And we can thank our friends at the U.S. campaign to end the Israeli occupation for providing us with that information and other information we need to arm ourselves with, because it's knowledge which is going to help us overcome the Zionist entity that is taking over all of Palestine and using our money to do it. So let me get a free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza! And next I want to introduce my friend Tarek. He's from Palestine. Let's give it up for Tarek Rowdy!
Hello, brothers and sisters. Today we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We need to ask ourselves, how can we continue the resistance from within the United States? We are handcuffed by various repression that has faced our community, that has divided this movement, and the first way that we can start resisting is with our tongues. The first way that we can start resisting in the United States is with our tongues. Most importantly, we must not handcuff our brothers and sisters in Palestine and dictate that the way they resist, okay, against colonial domination. Okay, it is their right as an occupied people to resist by any means necessary. That's right. We must not create false boundaries. Okay, there was a time where a revolutionary, an academic, and an activist were all one and the same. Today we've created these false boundaries trying to protect our careers, and justly so, because of the repression our community faced. But we need to break down those barriers and start resisting within our workspaces, start resisting within our mosques. We can't even say Palestine fil masjids anymore. So it's time to start talking about these things again. It's time to not be afraid while you're in the classroom and you have your Zionist professor spewing hatred lies against our people, calling us terrorists, and propagating this rhetoric that we from the Bush era.
Bush is the number one terrorist. George Bush, he's the number one terrorist.
Come on.
Tell them using a new weapon.
Actually, the whole Bush family is. We can all be revolutionaries in our own space. Okay, we don't want to romanticize this era of revolutionaries, you know, pre-Oslo. But it's the time. Now is that time again. Okay, so let's stand up and start talking about this in our workplace again. Let's start glorifying the word martyr and shaheed for the beautiful word that they are. Let's start glorifying our shaheed.
No better day.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free, 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 free Palestine!
Okay, now we have to just close up the speaking part, David Schwartzman is going to give us a few words.
Yeah, David.
You might know by my name I happen to be Jewish, but I was raised to fight Zionism. I happen to be a member of the International Jewish Anti-Zionist Network. And my co-candidate that I'm running with happens to be Eugene Puryear. I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I've just asked to say his website, eugenepuryear.com, which he forgot to do. Let me tell you, there is a party in the United States that stands with your struggle. That's the Green Party of the United States. We support boycott, divest, and sanction Israel. It's in our platform. Our local affiliate, the D.C. State Green Party, stands with BDS. And this is about the 50th time I've been in front of this embassy. I was arrested back in the late 80s in civil disobedience. And when that's necessary, we should do it. But let's be clear, the global BDS movement is growing. It is growing. And it will smash the walls of Israeli apartheid. That regime is isolated like never in history. And we should take confidence that we're going to succeed. Okay? So let's fight for BDS. Let's put people in elected office. There's a question, how could we do something locally? Well, let me tell you, if we got a few Green Party folk in Congress, they would have tremendous impact. So many of you may be from Maryland or Virginia. Do your part there. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but consider the platform. And we're going to smash Israeli apartheid. Let me just say, let's be clear what the three demands of BDS are. Equal rights. End of the occupation. And implement the right of return.
We stand in solidarity with all those children dying in Gaza and the West Bank, with the men being arrested on a daily basis, with the women, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, cousins, uncles, being murdered, doctors, farmers, being murdered. We remember Rachel Corrie, an American citizen who was murdered by the Zionist regime.
You don't hear anything about her, do you?
We remember the victims, those murdered by Operation Cast Lead. We remember the victims, those murdered by Operation Pillar of Cloud. And we could go on and on and on. We know what the Zionist regime is searching for. It already is funded, propped up, and supported by the Pentagon. It's an extension of world U.S. imperialism. It seeks to dominate of Palestine and Palestine. It seeks to dominate the resources of Iraq and Afghanistan and all countries of the world for the benefit of the Pentagon, the drone manufacturers, the military-industrial complex, who does not serve us. We say we stand with those fighting back in all the ways they are fighting back. And we are doing that here as well. I just want to remind everybody before we turn to a closing song that tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the White House, there will be another rally, a rally in solidarity with Gaza, a rally in solidarity with I'm also an American Jewish activist for justice and peace in Palestine. And I so understand the feeling of people who say they've been calling their families to see how they are. My mom was on the phone with my cousins, and my cousins in Israel, and they also had to run into a shelter.
And why I say that is because just like in 9/11, our grief on all sides of this should not be a cry for war. Our grief should be a cry for peace. Our work should be a cry for peace and justice. My partner and I wrote this song with the words peace, salam, and shalom after 9/11. We've sung it on both sides, in Israel, in Palestine, and around the world. And it's peace with justice. So sing it with me. We'll see you in the streets tomorrow. It goes like this. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. Feel free to drum. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom.
Free Palestine!
Salam, shalom.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Nothing but peace, nothing but peace.